Dory 1, this is Fireteam Delta. Dad's coming home.
Welcome to the Military Veteran Dad Podcast, where it is our mission to bring every dad home. I am your host, Ben Killoy. I'm a United States Marine veteran, husband, and a father. We will bring authentic conversations to inspire action in your life so we can close the gap between the dad you are today and the dad you want to be tomorrow. This is the Military Veteran Dad Podcast.
Welcome back to another Friday solo episode. I thought I was going to have a name for these series by now. Really, it's not there in my heart, so I'm just going to keep going and calling it the Friday Solo. And when it comes, and I'm sure it's going to be amazing when it comes. But for now, we're going to keep calling them the Friday Solo. If you've got an idea, a suggestion of to call these series after I've been doing them for a while now, drop me an email, ben@militaryveterandad.com. Today, I want to take you on an exercise of imagine in your head holding a glass of water. And maybe you can even do it in real life as well. Hold the glass of water. And reach out and ask yourself, how heavy does that feel? It's just a glass of water. It doesn't weigh that much by itself. But you're holding it out. And at 2 minutes, how heavy does it feel? And then think about, at 5 minutes, how heavy does it feel? And then at 15 minutes, how heavy does it feel? And it comes up to an hour. How heavy does it feel? Can you hold it for a day? What does that do to you long term when you hold something that's normally pretty light for an extended period of time? That the longer you hold it, the heavier it gets. Everyone's always heard the idea of when you get something off your chest, like, I just had to do that. And then you have to say, oh man, it feels so much better that I got that off my chest. But at the same time, why does that matter? It's not like there's literally something sitting on your chest, but it feels like something's off of your chest when you literally talk about it. It's because you let something go. There was literally something, there was equivalent to a glass of water being held up on your chest. And the longer you held on to it, the heavier it got. Now, there are lots of simple things that happen in life. And by themselves, they're very small. It's just like the glass of water. But maybe it bugged you in the wrong way. And instead of dealing with it, you just decided to hold it. And how many glasses of water is your heart trying to hold at the same time? How many things are you psychologically keeping up without actually acknowledging? Have you ever felt numb to the feelings around you and wondered, like, why am I not able to feel what other people are feeling? I wonder if it's related to maybe in order to hold that glass of water for a day, a week, a month, the only way your brain knows how to survive is to create a numbness around that pain. And so when you hold things on your heart, psychologically, you're numbing yourself to other things around you. Do you ever feel like there's a barrier between you and your family? Do you ever wonder if, like, why can't I feel maybe a sense of love or appreciation for my family? Like, why do I feel just so empty? Like, I feel lifeless inside. Often, every time that's ever happened to me, it's almost always because I'm holding something on in my heart. And I need to let go of that. And we're actually gifted this advice as parents brilliantly, but it usually flies right over. And it comes from the first movie, Frozen. In the movie, she's holding on to something that's fearful, it's powerful, but she creates a barrier between her life and everyone else's that holds what she has in to protect everybody around her. And in the end, that creates a barrier that ends up exploding. And when it does explode, it's met with fear. And then as she's running up the mountain, realizing that she just needed to get this out, that no longer be scared by the fear, that she needed to just be able to go through this. Think about that journey that she went on as she climbed the mountain and started singing Let It Go. Because when she started letting it go, she was able to create the ice castle, which by itself was very beautiful. But in the end, she had to learn that when you let it go, you're letting go of control, but then you're also allowing yourself to feel with love. And at the end, love is the one thing that brings her power back into control. And she can actually be at peace with it. It no longer scares her. Think about that in our own life as military dads. How many things are we holding on in our heart? How many things are your heart holding up that you're just not letting it go? Because dads, if you feel numb when you go home and you don't feel sad, maybe when your daughter's sad, if you don't feel angry when your wife tells you something, or you never get upset kind of person, those are generally indicators that you're not letting go of something, that you're psychologically letting yourself become numb in order to get through. Your brain is suppressing the feelings around you because all it can think about is that glass of water that it's been holding. And it no longer can think about it, so it just suppresses it. But in order to do that, it has to suppress everything else. And when we need to come home to our families, we need to be able to have an open heart where a river of emotions can flow through it, not get stuck, not get diverted. That you can actually ride that river and be in control of it, not get swept away with it. This is something where I always got stuck, that I would always get swept away by it. I would let them flow through too much. That I had emotions that I wasn't feeling, which then would get combined with other emotions that I was feeling, and it would just be too much for me. And it wasn't till I started owning that, and it wasn't till I was able to recognize that I needed to be stronger, but then also allowing it to flow through. That this is really when your heart can start flowing, but you need to let that glass go. You need to let go of those glass of waters. Maybe you need to go through the exercise of holding a cup of water and holding it on as long as you can till the muscles start burning, and then let go to really feel what it feels like, to feel that relief when you let that cup of water go. Because when you let the cup of water go, you get something off your chest. You're letting go of that. It no longer controls you. You can move past it. But as long as you hold up that glass of water, you can't move past it. If you can't move past it, then everybody else moves past you, and you stay in the past. Ever had the feeling that your family would be better without you? I wonder if that's related to that they're continuing to move while you're still holding the glass of water. That they continue to move through what's happening, and you're not. And I wonder how much that's related to holding the glass of water and letting that only be the thing you can focus on. Maybe you haven't forgiven yourself for something that happened. Maybe that forgiveness is the glass of water. Maybe the guilt is the glass of water. So as you listen to this episode, think about what glasses of water are you still holding, and what those are doing to your mind, your family, your relationships around you. And how can you let it go, to quote the Frozen movie, and really just move into being present with your family and letting those emotions flow. And with that, I'm going to sign off, and I will talk to you again on Monday.